So hello everyone, welcome to A Mortician's Tale. I really don't know what to expect going into this game. All I know is my friend played it, and we're going to talk about it on a podcast later. But yeah, I know very little about this, but I'm pretty excited to get into it. From what I'm told, it's a bit of a slower, more melancholy game. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, I did click start new game by accident, which is why continue is an option, but let's just go and see. September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Oh, this is pretty. Yes. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. Oh, can I read all these? Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name is Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps you with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about the hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy's a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Matthew J., funeral director. So Amy Rose from Sonic. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, okay, Amy is the sweetheart. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Sincerely, Amy Rose. Okay, so that's... Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office/preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and, obviously, since you read this email, your desk and computer area. I know you've experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. I guess my subject lines should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe someone paid me to move to London, and not London on, or O-N, serial killer capital. I don't know what that means. To work in a museum. Like, take that everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift / I love you / I'm super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you, Jen L. Hot. That's cute. Ooh. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to a sense of humour. Your first body is Miss Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Having more time to say goodbye makes things easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon. Oh, this is the thing she subscribed us to. Oh, we have a tab up there. I'll have a look later. Thanks for subscribing. That's what I say to all you lovely fellas out there. Each month, we bring you a newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. Funny way of referring to it. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll ask your most popular questions, here we are, because it's definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Number 1. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. 3. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when you're with the grieving family and friends. Number 4. Happy reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. That's true. Number 5. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Number 6. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. And number 8. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes that can even just be cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters. Be kind and helpful. I really like this game already. Is this clickable? I guess that's just coffee. Okay. About Rose and Daughters. And I guess she used the same profile picture for anything. Me too! Rose and Daughters Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm glad to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you've recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. Our services. Here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones with the best and most affordable funeral services in the area. We have a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit every need. Prices. I don't want to read these out, because it's just numbers. I'm reading them in my head though, so just let me be quiet for a second. Okay, there we go. We also offer custom packages to suit every budget and need. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions. I feel like I've got all the information I need. Hello? Okay, there we go. It says I have an email though. Did I miss something? Oh, I did. Right. Okay, I also missed this. Dear Mia, of course we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your request. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and Daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated. And we'll proceed with a closed casket for the surface. And though she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments be a counter to the way she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. Hold on 1 second. Alright, let's go then. Whoop, that wasn't very fast. Okay. Sure, I'll get right to it. Alright, let's start embalming this lady. This is the prep room, where we prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Do I just click on that? Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you're just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Oh, I like this game. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You're responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it is also important to pay your respects to the loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. That was a very quick clean. Just sponged her off, gave her a little dusting. I guess I can talk to anyone. We should have hated these paintings. Oh, she would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. What about you two fine fellows? Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? It seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it, don't make me laugh right now. Hey kiddo. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah, I feel ya. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy. It's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Aw, it's sad. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I was always taught. I had a look. Oh, I just paid my respects, I suppose. I really like the look and feel of this game. October 11th, 10:09 AM. What are you doing over there? Been a good clean. I imagine good hygiene is very important in a place like this. Now it looks like we've got all new things right now. I am so frustrated right now. Hold on, let me... Okay, it's all the same. Cool. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discovering Tight Lace's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907. 1907?! The Snap Cube reference! Anyway, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associate with fainting or hysteria, sigh, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant, so TLDR. Of course, it's probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of doing the condescension about my wardrobe that implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically researched, yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Feel that. Can I rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately. Even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. Very true. And I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Ugh, sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. I like the realism in repeating themselves, because I do that a lot. As we all know, as all the people at jinxgod.com know, I forget things very quickly, so I often repeat myself in messages. Hi Charlie, here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one, and the family is very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An early man died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie Duval if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. P.S. Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde. Is it formaldehyde or formaldehyde? I'm not sure. Is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together, and it was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Matthew, struggling to remember who this guy is. Hey there, Charlie. Oh, I remember this tone of voice. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you about the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got in our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in the procession of going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of the procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God. Can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car with me, the one that got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in a way that makes you not sure if they're really crying or if they've just gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed and we all started giggling, because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, There's no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later. It's nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. I like this guy. Alright. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more on the formal, black attire rule, and that works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colours have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice can mean accidental offence. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical colour for funerals. For Islam, though, it's less about the colour you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewellery and be respectful of your behaviour. For Sikh funerals, colour of the clothing isn't as important as dressing modestly and be able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the number one rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you're attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible. Even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral. Or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. That's very true. I think I have heard that white is like a colour of mourning in other cultures, but it's interesting to hear about these things. You do sometimes forget that these customs and rituals surrounding death are not universal. Oh, she got dressed while I wasn't looking. Good for her. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Alright, let's sponge this man. I'm curious to know about the embalming process. I only learned about it a little bit, way back in the early days of school, when we were learning about, when we had the little Egypt phase. Ooh, that noise. Can't decide if I like it or not. In order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. I'm guessing I'll just use my hand for that. Interesting. I thought rigor mortis broke down after a little while, but I never really looked into how long it takes. I know I'm fairly sure the process changes over time, like the extent to which you are decomposing changes the rigor mortis level, but I'm not really sure. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap onto each eye socket to give it shape. Is that this? Yeah. Interesting. Alright. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. I have used to stitch them shut. Maybe we still do, but funnily enough, I first heard that when I was reading a zombie book, because in that story, the dead returned to life, so at funerals, like the recently deceased would rise up as well, and they had like stitches on their eyes and mouth and stuff. I don't know if you still stitch your mouth shut. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball onto the mouth to give it shape. I feel like I've heard this as well, but still interesting. To keep the mouth from opening, you'll need to suture it shut. Oh, well, there you go. Click and drag the needle and thread over the jaw to close it. Maybe I do know a thing or two about funeral embalming. Click and drag the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from drying out. They're taking better care of this body than I do myself. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. I also knew this as well, but what the exact chemicals are, I'm not very sure. You're going to need a tube for draining the blood. Click on the tube and drag it to the neck incision. Oh, you mean this tube. Click on the cannula and drag it onto the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals into the bloodstream. This bad boy? Okay. Alright. Now we need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing and drag it to the cannula. Okay. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. Alright. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. Wow. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Interesting. This kind of stuff fascinates me. It's like, this is a world you don't really look into very often. And, I've always been interested in medicine from a very young age. I'm like, maybe not just medicine, but more like the workings of the human body and like how technology is developed to sort of, you know, to work with that and make people better and cure diseases, and deal with death and all that. It's interesting. I did want to be a mortician at one point, but then I realized that would probably just make me really sad. I don't think I'm the type of person who would really thrive in that environment, especially not now that, like, I realized I'm more into arts than I am science. Like, I have more joy when I'm doing artistic stuff than I do science. But I still very much enjoy scientific endeavors, but to me it's more of a hobby now. And this is really the perfect combination, this game is really the perfect combination of those two things. Okay, great, now let's sew up that incision. Almost done. We'll need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, then click and hold on the abdomen until all the liquid has been drained. Now, is that this thing? Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, I think I started, I'm saying this before, but I started being interested in embalming when we were talking about, like, Egyptian embalming processes and how, like, as a kid I was sort of fascinated by how you, like, remove the organs rather than keep them there. Because I was like, what? You're not preserving the body, though, you're changing how it is. You're, you know, you're altering its makeup. But people have different ideas about, like, this sort of thing, so it's interesting. And you're done. Mike will now take care of Mr. Duval's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in the casket. It's time to attend the funeral. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do makeup as well. It's interesting. It'd be I wonder if there are makeup products that cater specifically to dead people. Because you think, well, maybe not. There probably wouldn't be much that needs changing. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, one minute you're laughing, having fun, and the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long. Like staring at the sun. I start to feel fuzzy when I think about it. It's so weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Death is pretty scary. It's very sudden, it's very, unexpected. Yeah. It's so strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different from different family members. I can't remember. I haven't got to many traditional funerals. So mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Yeah, I can't imagine red being a color at a funeral. Feels too bright. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Was that like a joke? About death being unexpected? Humming to himself. Oh yeah. It's like that at funerals sometimes. When you're a kid, you're like, I don't really understand all this, so gotta amuse yourself somehow. Let's return. December 2nd, 10:22 a.m. I love her character. I love the feeling of this game in general. It's very calming, it's very nice. Also, does she have tattoos? Very cute. Okay, well anyway, I think we're going to end this episode here for now. I think I'll probably be doing longer episodes because of the pacing of this game, but I'm having a good time, so I think I'll keep doing it at this pace. I'm having fun. See you next time, guys.